He had been cheating for 3 years. He could have kept going indefinitely. But at Thanksgiving dinner, in front of both families, he reached across the table to pass the cranberry sauce to his wife and called her by the wrong name. Not a random name. The name of a specific woman his wife had never heard of. She looked at his face. He had gone white. What happened in the next 45 minutes destroyed everything he had carefully built. The story comes from a Reddit post written 2 days after Thanksgiving by the wife, while she was still at her sister's house, still processing. Stream of consciousness. No filter. That rawness is part of why it spread. Reading it feels less like reading a post, and more like sitting next to someone while their world reorganizes itself. Her username doesn't matter. What she wrote does. The dinner was big. Both families, her parents, his parents, siblings, cousins, about 20 people around a long table. Her husband, she calls him D in the post, had been quieter than usual. She noticed, didn't think much of it. He'd had a few drinks. The conversation was normal holiday noise, football, someone's new baby, whether the turkey was dry. And then his mother asked D to pass the cranberry sauce to his wife. D turned to his wife and said, and this is the exact quote, "Here you go, Mel." His wife's name is not Mel. It is not a shortened version of anything that becomes Mel. Her name is Christine. The table went completely silent. Not the polite pause between topics. The kind of silence where 20 people process the same information at the same time and no one speaks first. Christine says she felt the silence before she understood what had been said. Then she looked at Dee's face. He had gone completely white. Christine asked, very quietly, "Who is Mel?" Dee said it was nothing, a slip. He'd been talking to a client named Mel all week, and the name stuck in his head. His mother immediately said, "That's completely understandable, dear," and tried to steer the conversation back to normal. His father-in-law said nothing. He just looked at Dee for a long time, without blinking. Christine says she looked at her husband's face in that moment and felt something she couldn't explain. Not rage, not grief, just a certainty. She excused herself to use the bathroom. She checked his phone in the bathroom. She knew the passcode. In his text was a contact saved as just the letter M. No last name, no label, just M. The most recent message was from that morning. It said, "Can't wait to see you Thursday." Sent from D to M. Thursday was Thanksgiving. The day his entire family was in his house. She went back to the table. She sat down. She waited until there was a natural pause in the conversation. Not long, just a few seconds. Then she slid the phone across the table to Dee's mother and said, quietly, "Can you explain this?" His mother picked up the phone. She read the message. She looked up at her son. And then, out loud at the Thanksgiving table, in front of 20 people who had been eating holiday dinner 30 seconds ago, she said, "Dee, what have you done?" The dinner ended in the next 8 minutes. The Reddit post ends with Christine at her sister's house. 2 days after Thanksgiving, still writing. Both families had witnessed everything in real time. Dee had been calling nonstop. She had found out that Mel was someone from his gym who he'd been seeing for 3 years. 3 years. Their entire marriage. The comment section of the post received over 40,000 responses. The top comment says simply, his own mother turned on him at the table. It's over. It had 47,000 upvotes. Christine posted an update 6 months later. She had filed for divorce. She had started therapy. She had eaten Thanksgiving dinner with her actual family in a completely different city and described it as the most thankful she'd felt in years. She said the moment at the table had been the most humiliating experience of her life. But she said something else in that update, something people kept quoting back to her. She said, getting caught in front of witnesses meant she never had to convince anyone of what was real. Sometimes, she wrote, the worst thing that can happen is also the thing that sets you free the fastest. Do you think Dee would have ever come clean on his own? Or was getting caught, in the most public way possible, the only way this story ever ends? Leave it in the comments. And if you want a new story every single day, follow Chaos Diary. We're here every day,